In Ghana's Soul Takers, Tiger Eye looked at the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, DVLA. Phase 2 focused on 3 social interest stories on fatal road accidents, the reckless activities of some commercial drivers, and the role of the National Road Safety Commission, NRSC.
We need to save lives. As we are all aware, we are standing in an area where it's noted for a lot of accidents.
Are you trying to bribe me?
This is the last phase of Ghana's Soul Takers. Here, Tiger Eye collaborates with the Ghana Police Service to bring you a full account of the role some police officers play in the carnage and destruction that occurs on our roads.
It's just unacceptable. It didn't happen in our dear country.
It is not an institutional thing. We are concerned. We are not comfortable with it. I always maintain that if you bring an American to Ghana to come and do policing in Ghana, then probably he will bring some different thing of the. But if you pick the man from Ghana, and the perception is that all Ghanaians are corrupt, they will definitely get people who are corrupt in the police service because they will recruit from the corrupt resource base. I have said it before that corruption is the giver and the taker. So if I'm tackling the taker, somebody must tackle the giver. But we are not allowing it. We are not saying that we should just fold our arms and allow it to go on. We're doing our part.
You tell him that they say they need more, so you are coming to take more.
This is Anas Aremeyaw Anas.
The Motor Traffic and Transport Unit (MTTU) of the Ghana Police Service is supposed to be the key enforcer of road traffic regulations, and in our bid to tell a complete story about accidents on our roads, we cannot leave out any bad nuts within the MTTU. We turned our hidden cameras to officers whose activities taint the hard-won reputation of the Ghana Police Service, who refuse to live up to the motto of service with integrity. We also look at those whose actions continue to result in the needless loss of lives and property on our roads.
You have to drum home that it is not right to pay bribes. Elsewhere, somebody, if a vehicle is, else in other jurisdictions, you place the, what do you call it, a ticket on his vehicle, quickly he will go and pay. In this country, the moment I arrest you, you call your boss. This breeds corruption. But the difficulty we have is that we need evidence, concrete evidence to convict somebody. You call somebody, come and give evidence, he doesn't want to come. But on tape, fine, we we are trying some of them. We don't know whether we'll succeed in getting them off. So immediately we transfer them, and we are putting them on trial. See, an MTU is not confined to the MTU. But if you are an MTU, you consider a policeman. We consider you a policeman first before you become an MTU personnel or CID personnel. And the disciplinary regulations affect all of us holistically. The police will be effective because you need evidence at times to prove that whatever you are doing out there is right. So if you have some of these gadgets, and these are gadgets, state-of-the-art gadgets, that will tell you when the offense was committed, where it was committed, the vehicle's number is there, so that when you go to court, you can have conviction.
From the police stations to the roadside, on the highways, and at the illegally mounted checkpoints all over town, our mission was simple: to focus our lenses and expose the badness within the MTTU. In Phase 1, we told the story of how police officers in various police stations demand money before issuing extracts from the station diary, which was illegal.
In our country, MTU is primarily to ensure that traffic regulations are obeyed. Elsewhere, it should be the city authorities, what here we call the city guards. In that vein, it means you should not also litter the city and the major towns of vehicles by unnecessarily parking them where they are not supposed to be parked.
Objectives of the MTTU include to prevent and detect motor crimes and offences, to prevent loss of lives and damage to property on our road, to ensure free flow of motor traffic, to arrest and prosecute motor offenders, to educate all road users. With these objectives in mind, we went to town. Our first stop was at the central MTTU office here in Accra. There, we came across the story of a drunk driver who lost a lady in Accra. The case ended up here at this station in the able hands of Officer Adeji. We kept our cameras on.
The person who gave the car to the victim, I'm interested in him because the driver you gave the car to is an unlicensed driver. And then also, he was under the influence of alcohol before driving the car. And when we take his statement, he alleged the person who gave the car to him, he told him that he is drunk, but the person due to his limit, I think that one is elderly person that sort of this. So we would like to see the one who gave the car to you, and then we will start from there. It's like if you want to fetch farm fruit, you cannot bypass the branches of the farm front and then go inside and go and fetch. It will not be possible. So unless you remove the fruit step by step before you ultimately come to.
So why don't you help me remove that step by step? Why don't you help me remove that branches before I go to the top?
That is the branches we are removing. We are more interested in the woman's welfare than any other thing. Moreover, the circumstances surrounding your case. It's not a matter of we'll give you.
After 2 days of negotiation, Officer Adeji and his superior agreed to take 100 Ghana cedis before releasing the driver. This was settled. Then came the Thanksgiving token, where the driver had to thank them for their support and understanding.
Last week, I did have a corner. Me almost country, almost the year. I'm saying, Bamba, the Mabba, that was it. Yeah. That be, and yes, sir, and yes, sir. And yes, sir. Me pay my nice, only for now, better, a better. So, Mercedes met me.
An unofficial sport fine of 30 Ghana cedis was paid to senior officer E.E. Donko.
What can be about me? I want to leave now. So. Thank you.
And Officer Adeji, the deal maker, received 20 Ghana cedis. With that, one drunk driver was released onto the road. You wonder who his next victim would be after the police decide to be bought with a few shillings. Our next stop was the Osu MTTU office. Here, we witnessed the case of a driver arrested for driving an unregistered vehicle.
Sergeant.
Yeah. You used to take place, you know. Sergeant for optional place, you right.
This officer took his time to explain the driver's offense to him.
We have two types of plates. You have the DP plate and you have the DD plate. The DP plate is for defective plate. The DD plate is not transferable. The DP plate cannot be transferred from another plate. The DD plate is only for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, it expires.
Obisa no so no man na gbo echire ho no e gbo kwana ho no nti ono ye offended no ba wa ye police asam da ye wi ade da ye nye bibi ada enane ye first am just sport ya ni say ye kwa ahoma na ti ato ya pa.
Then a city guard appeared on the scene.
Yeah.
People are working on me. The
guard gave the offending driver assurances that there was a way out, if only he was willing to pay an unofficial spot fine. His offenses would not matter once he settles the officer with that money. The vehicle owner seems all too familiar with the situation. all the officers wanted to process his case.
She will give him a copy to come to court on Friday. This the lady. She will come and process. If you can see you, that's why we came she is the prosecutor. I'm gonna get it. Yeah, just meaning one.
Again, the city guard steps in as a mediator, exhibiting the power of a key negotiator in the process.
I knew my captain was very
This city guard offers to speak to the officer in charge on the driver's behalf.
That's not one way in the quiet.
Her power worked.
You made that mistake, bringing quarrel between the lady and the other lady.
Oh,
let me come.
Okay.
We have to process the driver. That means the process comes to enforcer. Because the lady didn't process the other driver, the taxi driver. Well, they have to show if I can do it.
Yes, we only lady back on a year because when to get back, tell me sorry. Why?
Then you can't buy near a car, you know, your office near a car. Move, you know, your office. No, when you people came, when I was asking this man to bring the driver, he was still standing there as if I was using my power to do whatever I want.
I'm sorry. Bring them on.
These city guards were supposed to help the police in their road traffic enforcement duties, yet they have rather become the agents who negotiate bribe sums to be paid to officers. We also met this driver who helped us with the comparative analysis of OSU and Central MTTU officers.
That is why the road
20 Ghana
There was also this officer who had some words of advice for a pleading driver. Redirect your plea so you can receive pardon, he advised.
Court, next year, court, or mark your trust, only marking can. Only marking can. Will be the market kind of man and one can consider why. A higher study or a higher swindle. A higher police station. Yachua, and into the other man, Yania, and Yano. O Yana Yachua. Yang, humanity of a show. Near Treasure, near the Akoma court. Into a chopper of Boabuano Guo. We do court for another in my judge. Why? What started patch or heavy or look out or not? To Boabuano Guo, would do another in my judge. Why? Into the other trauma was over court. Into court, like a boy. Bye bye. No, the young now from Hallelujah. All what has no much about. But the fact work at the man for 1 year. What you like to own them to prove what is the good Mother Herman herself? What I got happened?
At Medina, this police officer, aka License King Kong, charged a truck driver and seized his license. But even before negotiations could start, this question came up. Do you know Aremeyaw?
Anas. Your number, I know a number, one of the mouth. Where
After making known how tired he was, he invites the arrested driver for negotiations. He asks the driver to bring back a charge sheet that he had already given to him. Driver returns with this. Maybe tired, yet not so much as to appreciate the smartness of this driver to slip the 20 Ghana cedis unofficial bribe sum in an empty wallet. Here, we see that he has seized so many licenses he cannot tell which is his. So did he really know Anas? Days later, we went back to Central MTTU, where we met this no-nonsense officer.
Oh yes, I don't hear no cry.
Officer Baka would vehemently resist any attempt by this driver to plead for a release after his arrest.
Oh yes,
and then you will regret. I will write something small for you. And the highlights of the
The driver had to wait for hours.
What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
When his shift ends, however, Officer Baka, now in mufti, is ready to take a bribe sum to let the driver off. It is his last hour of it. But wait, he is not alone in this. Another officer who arrested an unlicensed motor rider with an unregistered bike, interestingly, agrees to take 20 Ghana cedis to allow the rider to walk off with no charge.
Even to me, near Krahanti, I said, me rush Baba.
We are back at Medina MTTU, and here again, all this driver needs to do is offer the 20 Ghana cedis unofficial spot fine to escape the prosecution net.
Okay, that's
bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
At the Kwame Nkrumah circle, these officers arrested a driver for
arresting you for not passing your seatbelt. Let me see.
After a magic chat, the officers take 10 Ghana cedis, seal a deal, and let the man go. Here too, a taxi driver is arrested for illegal parking. He pleads for leniency, forcing this officer to reveal why MTTU personnel have always pitied taxi drivers. After that, she takes the 20 Ghana cedis unofficial fine that allows the taxi driver to drive on without hassle. This police patrol officer at Danko Circle in Accra might seem to be doing his job of easing traffic and ensuring sanity on the road. But after observing him closely, we found him engaged in some other duties. This was the offense for which he arrested this driver with an unregistered vehicle. Negotiations are still ongoing at this stage. The officer also seizes the key of a wrongly parked vehicle. They reach a final leg of their negotiation. See how he takes the bribe of 20 Ghana cedis. Cash delivered, vehicle released. He repeats it with a second driver in this last act. With the unofficial spot fine paid, the car keys are returned to the driver.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna
High Street was our next stop.
So what can I do for you?
This driver was stopped for wrong turning and possessing a photocopied license, an offense under the road traffic regulations of 2012. This is what ensued.
How can I too much for me? I'm begging you.
And when you go to court, 4 million, 5 million, then you get it.
No, that's why I'm begging.
That's also about taking it from that level for you. You were also begging with the reason, and I'm also considering with the reason. Because if you go there, you meet them, you talk with them, I don't know much, they will tell you what is happening. And I also talk to you, if you can do them, you can go ahead and pass through the procedure.
But no, I don't have $100 on me like this.
Who's happy?
Out the officer goes, and another driver drives on our streets without a license. This officer issues a cheat for an overspeeding driver to report to court. However, there is one condition for his release. He can pay a 15 cedis unofficial spot fine and drive on. These officers stopped this driver for
because of your attention on the test, you are making you are stopping, you are not even able to stop. It's not good. You want to see it, you want to see the procedure you have to follow. And we can track a span of 600 and this is when you go and make the entry, you come and finalize the test. You are not going to collect the money, you pay the money and the office. And you can even take the coupon to any bank.
The conversation that followed was of threats and negotiations.
Are you ready to pay that money? There's a procedure. You want us to follow the procedure, you want us to go the opposite. You divide the fine or that's the only thing you should do and that's it. Because you are not the only person that you have arrested. You have arrested so many people today. So you have to teach everybody who are you. Say you don't want to go to office. Yeah, we don't give you the procedure. We will pay the fine and we can try to do your pay at 300 rupees. Now you are making you count down for me. Are you ready to pay the half? Please, I beg you. I don't want to jail or I beg you. You need to take 5,000 out. We are not doing anything. I know. We are giving expenses. You give a drive or what? It's not a drive. That is not a drive. When you are caught with an offense, you have to pay for it. So I usually arrest you for that. We can usually allow you to go to or drive for 6 days.
This officer featured in our first look at Central MTTU. We met him a second time when he arrested a motor rider for riding without a helmet.
Yeah, I'm just enforcing the law.
But like in the first offense, he refuses 5 cedis and would agree to release the rider when he was handed 15 Ghana cedis unofficial spot fine. This city guard comes across as a cautious type.
Take your camera capture. No. Keep a camera capture the link outside. Anas phone. What you trap me? Much trap the camera this year. Anas phone.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
If you don't talk well, you will go by that. If you can talk well, I will leave you. But we talk, that is what I do. How much? Actually, it's not that one. So how much do you think to it's 26. Oh, Charlie. So I want to live there. So the rest is the same. Okay, I will bargain you. We are not bargaining. We are not bargaining you. Let me give you some. Why you go take for us? You bargain. Why you bargain? That is tomorrow.
Osu MTTU.
The motor that you're right. But if you are not correct, go back to the chairman.
Where a junior would not accept bribe, however hard the offending driver pleads. The superior was reached, and it did not only sympathize with the offending driver, but agreed on behalf of his junior to take the unofficial spot fine.
So that motor issue, the amount that you give to go on the very OC. Then you get your license, then you go. My brother, let's do it this way. Is it ready to settle with you? Yes. You are going to take the next time when I say that they don't let me follow you. They are also vended. They want to get you, get money, then you bring your way out. So just say no, men, they were supposed to manage their way and allow them to go. And you wanted to go free.
That's not it. We are knowing ourselves. Yes. Yesterday and today. Yes. It will not be over. Again as a place.
Okay, sir.
This is what I used to say they will make the people against me. Although they can't deal with it, they will just go and find you. Then they will put your name in the data. Now they are building data.
As the deal nears a closure, he makes this call.
Okay, finish and come. Let's do it fast. Yeah, okay. Yeah. You should give 50 cedis for the request. And you get your motor and you
Police now giving no break. That old soldier.
Mind you, this 50 cedis is the top-up sum to an earlier 100 Ghana cedis that had been taken from the driver. At Nungwa police station, all this driver whose license had expired had to do was pay an unofficial spot fine to this officer for a road traffic offence under Regulations 33, Section 9 of the law, punishable by 10 to 25 penalty units or maximum prison term of 30 days or both.
And we are going to do this. No, we have to buy the note too. Then she should bring the note. Because the note is really nice to look for. Thank
God. Spot fines are supposed to be fines that are issued on the spot where the offense has been committed. Currently, what happens is that when a vehicle or a driver commits an offense, it's possessed on paper and a court date is given slated for you to appear before a court and the judge will give a judgment. The spot fine regime has come out with a list of offenses that do not need these processes. So you commit the offense there and then your offense is mentioned to you. You pay the money that is, because every offense has its fine attached to. So the fine is read to you. You pay the fine to the sport fine implementing agency, and then you are allowed to go about it. It's only when that you cannot pay on the spot that the court should.
MTTU boss explained some of the challenges his outfit faces.
The MTTU is massively under-equipped. First and foremost, if you're talking about traffic management, then it is human resource. That is, what do you call it, the personnel. Because if you look in town, you see the number of the MTU men who are there, they cannot cope with the traffic flow in areas like Accra. Kumasi is even worse. See, currently, Koforidua is becoming another problem. Takoradi is becoming a problem. Human resource. Currently, they don't even have the breathalyzers. They don't have the speed cans. We've made proposal for the authority to provide them for us to be able to use. As I speak with you now, we don't have them. The mere knowledge of the police equipped with these things will even make the drivers who are supposed to be checked sit up.
Given how easy drivers, commercial and private, could get away with motor traffic infringements in the capital, we moved into the other regions to find out what happens there.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys.
I'm a driver. You're an interpreter. What do you say? You're a car. You're a car. Do you know that? Have you heard it before? Yes. Give me your driver license. Oh,
Here in Koforidua, we encountered Officer Asari, who had a very simple request.
I'm telling you now, where there is
Knowing well that the driver was driving without license, he would take money and allow the driver to continue his journey. Still in Koforidua, Officer Coulson accused this driver of careless driving, and the driver admits it. Take a listen. The officer has some interesting comments before accepting his unofficial spot fine. We met this policeman who stopped a driver for driving without license. He wants the driver to make him an offer rather than beg. From Koforidua, we zoned in on the Ashanti region and headed straight for Asukwa, where this young police officer took a driver's license before asking for the documents of the vehicle. The driver in turn had this excuse, and matters would be settled the usual way. He would, however, leave the driver with a warning in his own interest. The Boedi police bit was pretty straightforward.
Bye-bye. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Officer Akunta Atedum had few words for this driver without a license. But he would sound a word of caution to the driver. He goes as far as to offer the driver help to obtain a driver's license.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
On this very rainy day in the central regional town of Brewa, this driver was stopped by a police officer because he had contravened Regulation 12 of Road Traffic Regulations LI 2180, failure to renew documents of his vehicle.
Your road, where do you have the new ones there? The two.
Yeah, I did all the two. I did all the two.
So this is the 2 or expired?
Yeah, that's what I've done it.
So I'll give you a chip.
I'm begging you.
The kind of.
Yeah. Me you too. This car, echo, yeah. Now me jaw card.
Hey, this is the number we really. Yes, carpet. It be in the back court. Carpet. But we are you find 12 million. 12 million. What the age of the car? 12 million. 1 year. They the prison. Robber, we are making a secret. Over 15 minutes. I find it 12 million.
Really, I contact them all day now. I thought about more.
Come for what? Whatever you be careful, but I think you would be young and I did phobia, I'll make sure
The other regions were covered by our team, and many more officers were caught complicit, aiding and abetting in the infringement of road traffic regulations in their own peripheral interest. The team hit northern Ghana, and the story was no different. We observed the following in Tamale.
Baba, you know that you have to do something like or how much you give me? Because I sent someone to our office right now. I beg you.
Okay, thank you.
The coffee down here, we are making go there, I'll come there and take it. Go there.
How much are you bribing me?
Huh?
How much are you bribing me?
Oh, I'm not bribing.
Okay, how much are you giving us?
5
Fair. I can't dig what are the bitter, I can give 5
Oh.
But I use sometimes you have to make it. So me sometimes when I do those things,
Integrated transport attract masses. From the air condition back, 116. Integrated transport attract masses. Attract masses. Air condition back, 116. Integrated transport attract masses. Attract masses. Air condition back, 116. Integrated transport attract masses. Attract masses. Air condition back, 116. Integrated transport attract masses.
Don't you come to our friends or your way? Eh? So some of you don't know. Add something. Arrest them. Yelma.
That's your problem, lad.
No, I check it.
No, ma'am, you only have a problem, lad.
All these monies going into individual pockets do not only take the reputation of other hard-working officers, but also denies the state much needed revenue in spot fines as contained in the Road Traffic Regulations of 2012, LI 2180.
Currently we have running the red lights instead of waiting for your turn. That is very much pronounced with the private vehicles. Dropping of passengers at unauthorized places and picking of passengers. You will see that a bus stop is not a place for people to park their vehicles and pick passengers. You are supposed to drop and pick a passenger there. What we see is that the commercial drivers will go and park their vehicles there permanently. Until the vehicles are full, they will move. By so doing, they impede on the smooth movement of vehicles from behind. And these are the issues that we are getting.
Motor traffic statistical analysis. Motor accident returns from Central MTT between 1999 and 2012 observations. Summary of motor court data 2009 to 2012. Total number of cases reported 23,907. Total number of cases sent to court 17,599. Total number of cases convicted 12,586. Number of cases awaiting trial 2,862. Number of cases under investigation 3,672. Warning letters issued 2,636. Number of cases discharged 785. Court fines awarded 2,960,253 Ghana cedis.
In fact, the major problem, as far as we are concerned, as far as the road accidents are concerned, is the human factor. When we talk about human factor, it's about the failure of the human being, be it the pedestrian, the driver, to do what he should do. For example, if the driver fails to maintain his vehicle regularly, if a driver is on phone and he's driving, and in the course of the talking on phone, somebody crosses you from your blind side. If a pedestrian is crossing a road where he is not supposed to cross, the road is not clear enough for him to cross, and yet he runs to cross, and he's not. There's a human factor. If the policeman is supposed to enforce the law to the letter, and he allows monetary consideration to overrule his sense of judgment, it's a human factor. Then the road engineering. If the road makers do not do good road engineering, it is likely to create more accidents on the road. Potholes, and then the drivers who probably would decide to run at a top speed into the pothole. You will see people will deliberately put sand. They scoop sand and do some unlawful speed ramps. They are a major cause of accidents. Where there's a need for a speed ramp, which must be professionally done, instead of allowing the people themselves to be doing some of these things. Leaving vehicles in the middle of the road when there is a problem, especially the cargo trucks. Instead of them towing them from the moment the vehicle gets a problem in the middle of the road, drivers do not even indicate with triangles and whatever to forewarn approaching drivers that there is a problem there. Drunkenness is one. Drink driving. That one is cuts across. The commercial drivers drink. Most of them, it's closed from work. He goes to take a tot. I mean, that is the private driver. The commercial driver wants to run very fast to get to his the destination and come back. So it means that under the influence of alcohol, becomes a bolder driver and run into accidents. Overspeeding is a major cause of accident to overspeeding, especially during festive occasions, the Christmas period, the Easter period, where people are celebrating, doing some celebration of their cultural festivities. Drivers tend to overspeed. Most of the time, we are where some passengers induce the drivers to run so that they can get to their destination very fast, and that causes accidents. So overspeeding is one, drink driving is one, and lack of maintenance of vehicles. A lot of vehicles will have their tires worn out, and they are using them. Some of them are using what we call it second-hand tires. Second-hand tires have a duration that it expires. So when they expire, people will go and bring them into Ghana and start selling it. The second-hand tires should not be encouraged.
Ours, as a social entity, is to bring to the fore an important and critical aspect of our life. We have put forth our candidates for persons and institutions behind the avoidable loss of lives and property on our road, which is by far the most patronized means of transport in the country. From the offices of the DVLA, NRSC, and GPRTU through to the traffic intersections and offices of the police MTTU. And of course, not forgetting the drinking bars within and close to major lorry parks, the Tiger and his team has just put the handbrake on the soul takers.
I will tell Ghanaians that road safety is very, very necessary, and that all of us must put our hands to the shoulder, because one life lost affects a string of family members. We have an extended family system, and therefore if one person is hit, even incapacitated by an accident, it affects a whole lot of people. And therefore we need to take road safety education very serious and go along those lines so that we don't get involved in unnecessary accidents.
It didn't happen in our dear country. We need to save lives. Let's stop the accidents. Let's stop wasting lives.
Your vehicles must be fit and safe. The person who drives the vehicle must use the skill with diligence. Drivers drive, they forget about the road safety, the speed limit.
We are advocating for a good public transport system where it can carry a number of people, where they will be safe on the road.
We shall be back to report to the good people of Ghana on if any changes has been recorded in the areas that we have touched on. As always, we seek God's peace and blessings for our homeland Ghana.
Really made it a long life road.
The tiger shall definitely.
As my life got dark, he was the only spark. The light at the end of the road.